Demons lurking, but I got that holy on my own. Praying up to heaven every witch dawn. Soul soldier marching gospel strong. Holy Spirit guide me, won't do me wrong. Turn me every which way but loose. Got that faith, yeah, I ain't scared to choose. Jesus in my heart, breaking all them loose. Turn me every which way but loose. Chains break every time I call his name. Gospel fire burning up that shame. Devil tried to trap me, but he lame. Holy Ghost power changing the game. Angels around me watch the blessings drip. Walking with the word I never slip. Every hater spell just loses grip. God's love got me on this victory trip. Bible in my hand, ain't no devil plan. Quoting scripture, taking my stand. Faith of a mustard seed.
Whoa, what's going on, man? We back with it, man. I ain't gonna be on too long, man. Appreciate y'all for coming to Bernstein Opulence right here, man. The stock and crypto, we try to simplify it and make it the opulent way. I'm telling you right now. Y'all see the title, y'all see the thumbnail, man. I let the AI trade my Robinhood account. Now it ain't started yet, but it will be starting tomorrow or when I deposit more money on the account. Now this right here is my formula right here for the ones that don't know. I had showed y'all this previous on my last live stream, so watch that full video when I break this down individually. But they trade like a 5-year-old. So I got this formula that I'm using, this 9 EMA, the pre-market high low, the 3 time frames, the MACD, the volume, the RSI, and VWAP and the Bollinger Bands. That's what I look at to analyze these stocks for day trading. Now you can still use this on the bigger time frames for like the hour, 4 hour, 1 day to determine if you want to buy a stock or get an elite option. You can still use it for that also, but this is on the 2 minute, 5 minute, and the 15 minute is more for day trading. So that's what we're gonna talk about right here, man. Like I said, first thing up right here, this is my Robinhood account, my AGENTIC account right here. I only got $5.95 because that's all I had on Robinhood. So I just moved it into that account right there. And man, you can see I got Claude connected right here. So I put this right here. I put this, my day trade like a 5-year-old formula, into Claude and connected it with my AGENTIC AI, which is basically our automatic AI trading bot that's going to automatically trade for me starting tomorrow. Or like I said, when I get it up, I need $100 in here to make this, to test it real. You know, to get a real test, they need $100 in there. So when I put that in there, then that's when I want to start bringing y'all the results. But for right now, I just want to see what it do if it use this $5. But it told me I need about 100 in there to get the full effect, and at least 50 to get it started. So I'm planning on doing that and bringing that as a video series to y'all. But I just wanted to introduce it that I did that with my formula that I just created and just learned, and gonna put it to work in the use to see what it do. There's option trading and the stocks, like swing trading stocks. So I'm just letting y'all know it's coming. It's coming. And if y'all got a Robinhood account and y'all want to do the same thing, then there's not financial advice. It's just my entertainment purposes only. I suggest y'all test it out first. Get you a little formula or use mine, or if you've been a pro or you're not a beginner. If you're a beginner, I don't suggest do it because you ain't gonna know what you're looking at, and the AI just gonna trade on whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a little pro, or you've been doing it for a minute, or you want to diversify and test it out, and willing to lose whatever amount you put in there, because that's what you got to be willing to do. To lose the amount, whatever you got in there, you got to be willing to lose it. I'm talking about completely down to zero. So that's what I would do. We just test it out. But I think it's going to be real fun, and I'm excited to see what this thing do. So I got it set up. I basically got it set up through Claude to write me a report of where they traded every day at market close. And it's supposed to be a journal where I keep track of all the trades that I done took and, keep track of it and build this portfolio with this AI. Do they change money? They charge money to use the AI feature? Nah, not from what I seen. They sent me an email talking about all the new features on Robinhood, and I seen this. So I clicked on it. I ain't even showing y'all. So I clicked on it. And then, you got to log in if you got a Robinhood account already, you got to log in. And then you just got to deposit money over there. But I don't think they charge. But that's why I said I'm testing it out first. I'm testing it out before I drop even more money on there to see what it do. But I'm excited to see, because this something new for Robinhood. I know some people probably already done had it on their platforms or whatever, but I want to see, because Robinhood is supposed to be one of the easiest platforms to trade on and for beginners. So to have this, it gonna hurt some people and help some people. Like I said, if you're a beginner and don't know what you're doing, then you ain't gonna know what the AI doing or give the AI the command to do what you wanted to do. It's just gonna do whatever. So that's why I said, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't get into this. I wouldn't do it at all. I would learn, sit back, listen, and learn, and get ready for that big drawdown that should be coming pretty soon. But this month, I think the rest of July, this month may run up. But we're going to talk about that right now, because I'm about to go to the chart, look at the SPY, look at Bitcoin, and go over my day trade like a 5-year-old for the one that knew. My report right here, my formula right here that I use. I'm about to explain it one more again, but I do got a live stream from my last live stream that I already done talked about it. So let's go ahead and jump into this thing right here. Let me go ahead and set this up. I got to go through an extra step to get my chart up. I use Webull right here. I'm working on getting, I do got trading view already, but you got to pay for that. So I'm just using my free tool right now. So we on the SPY right here. As y'all can see, the market closed Sunday night. You can look at the futures to see what's going on with the trading right now. But, by the time 9:30 in the morning Eastern time come, everything could be changed and different. But we closed Thursday at $744.78. And aftermarket right now for the SPY, $745.71. Now, I had made me, with the small trading account I do got, just risking $50 a trade, I made 100% on both of the trades I did. So right here, I'm about to show y'all on the SPY, because I use the SPY. So I'm showing y'all exactly what I did. So right here, this is the market close for Thursday. I mean, the pre-market for Thursday. The pre-market for Thursday is right here in this blue spot right here. Now, the dark blue is the market live, open. So what I do is, on my day trade like a 5-year-old, I already put out the market pre-market high and the pre-market low. So I already got it marked off with these orange lines right here. So I already done did that. With the pre-market high would be this candle right here, and the pre-market low would be both of these candles, you could say. These little bitty small candles right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. But when the market open, I use the 9 EMA and the VWAP to determine if I get in the trade or not. So if we above the 9 EMA, I get in on the call option. If we're below the 9 EMA, I get in on the put option. So what happened was, we on the 5-minute chart right here. That's what I like to use to get a full 5-minute candle on it. And then I also use the 2-minute. And the 15-minute. Did the 15-minute right here. Hold on. I moved it. GG. But the thing is, what I learned, because I'm still testing this formula out now. It ain't 100%. It ain't 100%. It's just for entertainment purposes only, but it ain't 100%. So do it at your own risk if you want to take a look at it or just watch it. But there's the 15 minute. So what I did was when I confirmed on the 5, which would be this second candle right here, I know I had said in my last live that if it's still touching, then it ain't confirmed. And it usually 2 candles. If you really want a hard confirmation, you have 2 candles, no matter if it's touching the 9 EMA or not. But if you have 2 candles going in that direction above the 9 EMA at this point right here, then that will give you the confirmation to jump in the call option. Well, what I did was I seen it on their first candle, and then the second candle right here, I seen that it was going to close above the 9 EMA, and it was going to close green. So this the gamble now. Like I said, if you want a true confirmation, you wait for 2 candles. 2 candles above the 9 EMA. Then you jump in. But I took the risk. I jumped in on this candle right when it was about to close on the 5 minute. Because I looked at the 2 minute too. Let me go back. I looked at the 2 minute. This is what gave me more of the confirmation of why I jumped in on this second candle and didn't wait for 2. I'm just showing y'all what I'm looking at and how I did it. So I seen the 2 minute candle close green right here. It's above the 9 EMA. Then you're going to get 2 candles within them 5 minutes. That's why I said I like to use the 5 minute to give me a full picture of the 2 minute, and then the 15 minute to give me a full picture of both of them. So the 2 minute had confirmed 2 candles above the 9 EMA already, even though it was red. But we still was above the 9 EMA and the VWAP, which is my dash line right here. So that what made me jump in on from the 5 minute view. That what made me jump in right now, because the 2 minute view, 2 minute chart gave me the confirmation that I needed to jump in the call, because we were going to still go up because we were the 9 EMA. Then as we went up farther on the 2 minute right here, you can see that we got farther away from the 9 EMA, especially from the VWAP. That made it even more bullish for me. Same thing on the 5 minute right here. The farther we went up, with more confidence, that ain't, hold on. The farther we went up on the 5 minute, the more and more we got away from the 9 EMA, that gave me even more confirmation that we were bullish, that I made the right move. And then the VWAP. Now the 15 minute, as you can see, the candles are longer. It confirmed. It gave me the big bullish candle, but I had already confirmed on the 2 and the 5. That's the reason why I jumped in. So now on the 15 minute, that made me confirm that even bullish, even more, is because we got above that pre-market high with this second candle on the 15 minute. That made me like, okay, I need to start paying more attention, because when we get above the pre-market high and the pre-market low, that's when we need to start. Okay, you should already set your stop loss after you become in profit, or even before you're in profit, so you can minimize your losses. But I started moving my stop loss up, I should say, when I got up to this point above the pre-market high, because we were struggling right there at the line for a minute. But then when we got above it, I was like, okay, we running. So we ran all the way up to 751.31 right here. Then when I made my stop loss a little tighter, not only were we above the pre-market high, we were hitting the Bollinger Band all the way up. This counter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles in a row was on the Bollinger Band. Now, if y'all don't know what the Bollinger Band is, basically like a border that reels you back in. So if you hit the Bollinger Band at the top, then you coming down. If you hit the Bollinger Band at the bottom, then you going back up. You going back up. So that what made me ride that wave up, even though we ain't supposed to trade in the first 15 minutes. But like I said, I seen the confirmation on the 9 EMA, because last week, for whatever reason, it was moving the stock market was moving before them 15 minutes, like making big moves before the 15 minutes. That's why I jumped in on Thursday, because I made some money on Wednesday too. But I made more on Thursday. So I jumped in about 5 minutes early, and then around that 11 o'clock mark, that's when we start seeing the market make the other moves, like big moves, as y'all can see these candles on the 5 minute right here, these big moves. But when we got, like I said, when we got to 751, that's when I made my stop loss tighter. And I was like, I don't want it to kick me out, because we might run back up on the next candle just a little bit, but we didn't. We came down a little bit, but it was still green. And then I still used the MACD right here. As you can see, the MACD, there where the MACD and the RSI come in. Because back here, when the market first opened on the RSI, the yellow line that I'm on right here, we seen the RSI will start pointing up, and we had got to 62, and then we kept going up. It kept pointing up, and then when we got to that point where I said we hit the Bollinger Band at 751.31, the RSI started pointing down. That's when we get that red candle right there, and then that's why I said maybe we were gonna stay in it right after that, because it had pointed back up just a bit, but then it started curving down. That's what made me set my stop loss tighter. And then same thing with the MACD. It was curving. We were getting less on the histogram right here. We had went up, and then boom. That red candle, when we hit 751.31, produce that red candle, you can see the next candle from the red candle from the previous candle that we had the doji, it got less. So I was like, okay, now we curving down, and then we got red. Then I was already got kicked out. I had already got kicked out while we was up here still above the pre-market high. And then it came back down and it flushed. It flushed down. I'm talking about hard. These two big long red candles on the 5 minute right here flushed hard. And show y'all on the 2 minute. So now on the 2 minute, there was 750.51. Even though we ain't hit the Bollinger Band, that's why I check all on 2, 5 minute, 15. Because if one hitting the Bollinger Band, you might end up getting them red candles on the 2 minute or the 5 minute, because the 15 minute hit the Bollinger Band. But the 2 minute or the 5 minute hit the Bollinger Band like it did, and then you gonna see the red candles on the 2 minute first, and vice versa on the 2 minute. If you see it on the 2 minute hitting the Bollinger Band, then you might start expecting, okay, the 5 minute, that next candle on the 5 minute might end up being red, because we already seen it on 2 minute. That's why I say I use all three. But then right here, right up in this range, had already kicked me out. And then when it hit, I seen it on the 2 minute right here with these two red candles under the 9 EMA, but we were still over the VWAP. But I already knew that we were testing the pre-market high again as the support now. And if we broke through, then we get back in this zone under the pre-market high, that we were going to go all the way back down to the pre-market low. So as soon as these two candles produced, I was already out. I started looking at the put options, and then it just flushed down under the pre-market high. And then on this next candle, because if you check, it's on the 2 minute, you still see this big long red candle still under the 9 EMA. But we already had two confirmed under the 9 EMA already above pre-market high. But when we flushed on the third long candle right here, that made me my confirmation even more to jump in a put. No matter what this next candle was, it had already confirmed to me even more, because we was on the pre-market high, that it was gonna go back down all the way to this pre-market low and hit this line. Then this is when I, down here on the 2 minute, this last red candle pushed down to 744 and some change. And I was like, all right, I set my stop loss a little tighter, because I said we gonna bounce off this and come back up a little bit. Now, The next two candles on the 2 minute came back up, hit the 9 EMA. I said, okay, if we break above the 9 EMA, then we might be going back up to 749, the pre-market high. So that's why I set my stop loss tighter. I think it kicked me out after that move. So I done made 2 trades already on the way up and on the way down. Made me some money, 100% and some change. So I made that on both of them. Then I was done for the day. But I was still watching it. And then that's when I said it hit the 9 EMA, came back down to the 744, but I was already out. But then it bounced again, and then that's when I just quit looking at it. After 11 o'clock, about 11:20, I quit looking at it, and then that's when I seen it. Looking at it right now, that it came all the way down to 740. But you still could have got in if you would have had some more money, or you wanted to keep playing it, then you could have seen it confirmed right here under the 9 EMA with them 2 counters right there. And you could have got in right there and rolled that way down to 744, where I would have had some caution, but then it traded sideways for a minute. That would have been bad for a day trade. But then when it broke that pre-market low, then you should have known it was going to ride all the way down until that way you would check the big chart to where the resistance, the support level would be when you break that pre-market low. Same thing with the pre-market high. That was my thought process on that. So I just told y'all the whole thing right there once again. Now, Bitcoin moving funny. I got these right here. These lines been drawn for over a year, maybe 2 years. Because if y'all go back and look at these videos early on this channel right here, I've been talking about Bitcoin since 24. But we at this point right here, I told y'all we was in that third leg down that they had been calling this third leg right here. We ran up, touched 81,000. Now we on that third leg down. Now, some of them saying that we ain't had that death cross yet, or the 50 EMA crossing and the 100 EMA crossing on the week time frame. So this the week time frame, but I ain't got the EMAs up. I ain't got them up. But basically, you will go in and put in on the EMAs, you put in 50 and 100, and then you will see that 50 EMA just about to cross the 100, and they call that the death cross. It has not occurred yet. Bitcoin not at the bottom yet until you get the death cross. So if we get that death cross this week, if we get that death cross this week, again, I'll put it in real quick so y'all can see it. This right here, well, it just crossed it. Right there. That's the 50, and that blue line, and the 100 right there. As you can see, the 50 just crossed the 100. But we ain't started. You know, Bitcoin don't sleep. Bitcoin don't sleep. So we already done started. So it just did it today. So we gonna see what happens with the price action of Bitcoin over this week. And we gonna see if it go back. I already had predicted it's gonna be the mid 50s, but it could come all the way back to the 40s. Down to this line right here. We already got the head and shoulder going on. The left shoulder, the head. Now we forming the right shoulder, but how far we gonna go down with the right shoulder? And looking back to right here, where we started consolidating before we took off again, we could see we got down to like the 49,000. That wick hit 49,000. So we probably could get to that point. 49,000 and some change. But it might tell you, I ain't gonna say it's gonna happen right now or happen at all, but there might be a range that we need to take a look at for where Bitcoin gonna go down to, and we might need to start accumulating for the long term and the long run, because you know in 2028 It's another halving event for Bitcoin. That means basically all the Bitcoin that's being mined right now is going to be halved. So whatever they mining right now, they're only going to be able to mine half of that after 2028, after the Bitcoin halving event in 2028. You're only going to be able to mine half of that. So Bitcoin will become more valuable over time. More valuable over time, man. I ain't even have that screenshot of Keenan Grace uploaded, but he was predicting where Bitcoin would be 240,000 by 2029, 240,000, and then it'll be at 450,000, 400 and some change thousand in 2033, I think, after the next Bitcoin halving event every 4 years. So yeah, that one might be happening with Bitcoin. But right now, if we don't close this week, if we don't close above 69,000, because Bitcoin moving funny from the experts, what I watch and listen to, they said if we don't close above 69,000, then we still on the move. We still bearish. We still going down. But if we close above 69,000, then we might, the bottom might have been in and we going back up. The move, the third leg might have ended sooner than what they thought. Sooner than what they thought. But that'll be from the bottom where it was at down here. And we go back to 69,000, there'll be a 20% move from the bottom. And then we might get rejected at 69,000 and go down the next 4 months. There could be a possibility too. That we come back up to 69,000, then we get rejected at 69,000 and start coming back down the next 4 months. The next 4 months on Bitcoin. Because the last time to accumulate Bitcoin would be November. The end of November. You would want to have all the Bitcoin you want in your account, wherever you buy Bitcoin at, your crypto. Now, I don't suggest getting the meme coins or nothing like that. I'm investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum, the main two heavy hitters. Them the only ones I want to mess with. But if you're a gambler, not financial advice, you can do whatever you do on the meme coins. Because I used to have Doge when it was under 1 cent. I had that. Should have held it a little longer than what I did. Still didn't know what I was doing. I had Shiba Inu. Under 1 cent or whatever it was at the time. Then I had that mess staked. I remember November 21. That when everything, the stock market was high, crypto was high. I had that mess staked on Shiba Inu. And I had $3,000 worth of Shiba Inu coin. Didn't know what I was doing and just let it sit when I should have been selling. Should have been swing trading that thing then. But it is what it is, man. You live and you learn. But I ain't fooling with none of them no more. I'm long-term hodling Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I won't let it ride, man. So I'm going to start accumulating a little bit by little bit as we get back to them zones. Now, you can start accumulating right now. And yeah, I got XRP too. Need to go back up. Now, I had the coach I coached with. He had showed me XRP. Yeah, back in, that was 21 too. No, that was 2020. 2020, he showed me XRP. He had 10,000 coins of XRP. And he had to liquidate it all because he had bought a house. So he sold all 10,000 of his XRP. That was before any run up with XRP. I know he was sick when it had ran up. But yeah, man. Like I said, I've been learning about this stuff for a minute. But July usually a good month for the stock market. But it might not be as big of a move that it usually is, as far as the averages and the percentages of what July's supposed to make, because every 4 years is usually a bad July because of the election that we in right now. And Tom Lee say we ain't had that drawdown yet. But I don't see, can I find the clip right quick? But he say we supposed to run up or we might, I ain't gonna say supposed to, we might run up the 7,700 on the SPY to 7,800 on the SPY, and then see that 10 to 15% or more pullback in the total stock market. So we can come all the way, we can go up, we can run green up until that point, and then we'll start pulling back. I don't know if I can find it real quick. It's a short. I think this is it right here. Wrong one.
And how the makeup of this market seems to be changing a bit.
Momentum stocks have started pulling back this week, especially semiconductors and memory stocks. But Tom Lee believes this is actually a sign that the market is broadening, not that the tech rally is over. He also shared the two asset classes he expects to outperform in the second half of the year.
What do you make of, this point of the conversation we're having, rollover and momentum, and how the makeup of this market seems to be changing a bit?
Well, one, I think there is probably, it's a new quarter, so there's people are going to reset their positioning. But in terms of market composition, I think two things are really going to work in the second half. One is anything correlated to the ISM above 50, which is positive earnings revision that follows, and that's industrials, financials, and tech. So I think those are the earnings stories. But I also think investors are going to buy the laggards, right? So there is a relative value trade to be made, and some of that's in small cap, but it's also intra-sector. So I think both work, but I actually think it's a broadening, but it still means tech works.
Well, I mean, you're talking about an everything rally, for more or less, aren't you?
Yeah, and I can see the conditions because inflation, I think the risks are diminishing with today's jobs report, but also oil lower. So that means the bond market, which has been hawkish and leaning hawkish, could actually lean dovish. That's a tailwind into year end.
At the same time, he remains bullish on the overall market. He expects the S&P 500 to climb to 7,700 to 7,800 in the near term, followed by a 10% to 15% correction before the next leg higher.
I ask you this every time, Tom, you're with me, because people, they hear you and they assume that you're always bullish, and directionally you are, with the caveat this time of you still are expecting a meaningful pullback in stocks at some point before another significant ramp up into the end of the year. And you haven't changed that, have you? And I ask you every time.
Yeah. And again, I think we're still in this up phase. So I think near term, I think we can be 7,800 first.
Okay.
And then a 10 to 15% pullback, but for understandable reasons, because, the Fed is something the market's trying to understand, and we've got an unlock of a major IPO coming, and there's cumulative shortages now in petroleum products that becomes a pricing risk later this year. But I do think the earnings momentum is very strong, and investors are still off sides. In fact, fund managers are having one of the worst years, actually in almost 5 years. This is one of the worst years for growth managers. And so I think they're going to buy that dip.
There it is right there, man. That's all I got for y'all, man. There it is right there. Tom Lee just spoke. So we're going to keep track of it, man. I'm planning on creating a little community for this channel. Well, shout out to Jamel. I might have an offer for you, my big dog. You want to help me out? I ain't came up with the whole idea yet, but I might end up making a community where people can get in, and all the reports that we coming up with, what I'm coming up with, they could get it in that community and do whatever they want to do with it, read it, use it for their research information and all that. Based on, I'm still thinking about it. I ain't did it yet. I'm still thinking about how I want to do it, if I do it. But yeah, to help these folk out. And then that day trade like a 5-year-old, like I said, that would be on there and a little bit more in depth. But like I said, it's still working out the kinks and stuff. But hopefully they helped y'all, man. But like I said, I'm trying to keep it real simple over here. I still don't know everything. This is not financial advice. I'm just trying to help somebody that don't know, break it down real simply to some other folk, man, that want to learn the stock market. Because I think outside the box a little sometimes, because these stocks that I'm going to introduce to y'all, a lot of folk don't talk about it. You know, they talk about the hype stuff and the focus stuff. Like I brought y'all VCX before it IPO'd. And if you would listen to me, not financial advice, but if you would have took my advice, you would have took my video. Let me rephrase it. You would have took my video and seen what I did, and you would have jumped in at the IPO or right after the IPO. It ran up all the way to $575, and you could have swung traded and made some big dollars on it and then got out. But I'm still a long-term holder in that. But the lockup period for the pre-IPO people, which is me, Fundrise, VCX, private equity ETF, I got in around like $12. I don't even know what the price is right now. I ain't even got my chart up. But September is the end of the lockup period. So at this point, I'm going to hold it. But the more and more I'm learning and leaning to, I might end up selling half just to take some profit, get what I put in out of it, and just let it ride after that, because it got SpaceX in it, Anthropic in it, OpenAI in it, Databricks. It got a lot of other private companies that ain't public yet, but SpaceX became public. There's a whole different beast and a whole different monster. What's about to happen with that? I ain't gonna touch on that tonight. I'm gonna do another video during the week about SpaceX. So y'all stay tuned. If you ain't subscribed right now to Bernstein Opulence, because we're gonna cover SpaceX and what they gonna do, potentially what's about to happen, because they already had their inclusion the second into the NASDAQ. The company's already where NASDAQ already bought. But you gonna start seeing the price reflection probably tomorrow or later this week on what SpaceX gonna do, and it's maybe going down. That's all I'm gonna say. The stock chat, that's what I'm talking about. My Discord and all that. I still got the Discord. It just ain't been used, but I might end up putting that into the paid membership, what I'm talking about, so we had access to that. That's why I said I got to figure some more stuff out how I want to do it. That's what I was talking about, the whole Discord where you can chat every day. We can type in there and all that, throw ideas around. I still got it. I just ain't had it operating with no people in it. But we gonna see, man. But I appreciate y'all for coming. Hit that like button, subscribe and share, and tell your friends about the Bernstein Opulence. Y'all already know money man anything. Guaranteed ain't playing no games, shout it. Y'all already know my name.
Watch me expand. Holy Spirit heat hotter than the sand. Turn me every ritual way but loose. Got that faith, yeah, I ain't scared to choose. Jesus in my heart, breaking all them loose. Turn me every ritual way but loose. Turn me every ritual way but loose. had to choose. Jesus in my heart, breaking all the loose. Turn me every which way but loose.